What up, Homedawgs? It's your boy Gokey Gamer. Don't worry, whole thing's not recorded on my phone, but I did just want to make a quick little announcement here. No, the title is not clickbait, and no, the YouTube is not lying to you. This battle merely went the full hour, or at least the full hour that you can go in a typical Pokemon draft league. So, yeah, long story short, I just wanted to say this whole thing is going to be just raw, unfiltered footage, not edited, not cut down. I will be adding some lo-fi, though. Shouts to Glitchick City, as per usual. Her links to her playlist that I used will be down in the description below. And, yeah, grab some popcorn, put this on while you're doing dishes in the background or something like that. And enjoy, cause, yeah, and also, happy holidays. I'm literally recording this on Christmas Eve, so, but yeah. Anyways, let's go to the battle. What up, Homedawgs? My name is Gokey Gamer, coach of the Milwaukee Meta Champs, and welcome to week 1 of the CDA, where this week we're going to be going up against none other than my good friend Alex, coach of the Flamin' Fletchenders. Very, very excited for this match. Here are the teams. So, my opponent has got a very, very scary team. Keldeo in particular is a Pokemon that really scares me. Blissey, Ghost Blissey, is coming to this game, and I was really worried about that. I'm very glad not to see Ditto or Dondozo, though. Rotom Frost is low-key a bit of a problem, but, you know, we'll make it work. We're going to see Treads, we're going to see Frost, we're going to see Moth, we're going to see Dragapult, we're going to see Keldeo, and we're going to see Blissey. Okay, so no Meowscarada, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, this is more or less what I was expecting, so I'm a little bit scared of that. I got a whole bunch of Terra Caps, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. Now, the thing that I'm curious about is, what do I want to lead off with here? I could lead off with Alecki, I could lead off with Actually, Skuntank looks really nice here. I really like Skuntank as a lead. Because the one Pokemon that doesn't lead well into, like, that my opponent can lead that doesn't really help me that much is the Iron Treads, in which case I have my Skuntank for. So I really like this lead, so I'm going to lead Skuntank here. Skuntank covers pretty much, like, everything, which is pretty awesome, and I'm very much a fan of that. So, yes, very, very excited, and I'm very excited to see what my opponent's going to do. I'm very scared. Terra Ice Rotom Frost is terrifying, I won't lie. I don't know if I'm actually going to Terra Regieleki in this game. I'm not too sure about that yet. This is going to be a very tough matchup for us, though. Very excited. Let's see what happens. So, my opponent's going to lead off with the Fridge. That's Rotom Frost. Okay, so Rotom Frost hits the field versus my Skuntank. Alright, so Rotom Frost. Now, you could have Terra Blast with Terra Blast Ice. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think I click Knockoff here. I think Knockoff makes a lot of sense. Let's see, I need to also remember, yeah, you're level 50. So Calyx are going to look a little different because level 50. And, yeah. I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to click Knock. I think Knock is a very free button click here. We're going to see a Volt Switch, actually, so that's very interesting. We're going to take that very well because we are EV with a Careful Nature, which is pretty awesome. So I'm curious to see what my opponent wants to switch in here. If it's Iron Treads, I'm very okay with that. The Spinny Boy. We're going to see the Spinny Boy. That's going to be Treads coming in here, which makes a lot of sense. Are we going to see... Oh, is that Booster Energy? Oh, Booster Energy. Okay, that's cool. We're going to see Booster Speed. Thankfully, I have a perfect Pokemon counter for this, and that is my Sandaconda. Not even going to think about it twice. I'm going into my Sandaconda here because that is the best play for me to make. Sandaconda here is the freest switch, and it is awesome. Because this Pokemon really can't do anything to me. And I'm Rocky Helmet as well. I have Rest with Shedskin. Literally the entire reason I brought my Sandaconda in this game was specifically for Iron Treads. So, yes. Because I just knew it was coming. So we're going to see an EQ here. We're going to take that pretty well, which is pretty awesome. I think here I'm just going to Glare, right? I think I just Glare. Let me double check, make sure I can paralyze ground types with Glare. Let's see here. Can you paralyze ground types with Glare? Well, actually, yes, I can paralyze ground types, but I won't be able to paralyze the Rotom Frost that could definitely come in here. So I'm going to actually Body Press here on the switch. They could stay in as well. Body Press is going to do a crap ton to anything that wants to switch in here. If it's Rotom Frost, I think Rotom Frost might just drop, which would be pretty cool. I would very much appreciate that. Actually, no, it's not going to drop, but it's going to do a crap ton of damage. So I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with that. And then we'll also get some intel as to what the set is on that Pokemon, which is pretty great. I like that a lot. So yes, I'm max defense. I'm very curious to see what my opponent wants to do here. Dragapult could come in, but I don't think they want to risk switching in Dragapult on a Glare, so we're going to see what they want to switch into here. They're definitely not going into Iron Moth. They're going to see the Fridge. Let's go. Body Press is going to do a crap ton of damage to you. Body Press! Badooshkis! Lots of damage. Love to see that. That is pretty awesome. So, I like that a lot. We could see okay, so we could see an Ice move here. I think an Ice move makes a lot of sense. How much... I don't like how much Rotom Frost does to Alomomola. You don't get access to Freeze Dry. As much as I don't want to, I might have to go into Skuntank again. Do I want to go into... No, I don't want to go into Skuntank here, because I think either a Blizzard or a Terra Blast is popping off here. I really want to predict that, and I really want to go Alomomola. I don't... They could go... Volt Switch does a lot of damage. Do I get heavily punished if I go Purple Rain here? Not really. I guess the punishment would be Blissey? Yeah, the punishment is Blissey, I think. So I'm gonna go... I'll go into Purple Rain. I think Purple Rain is an okay switch here. Especially if they go for an Ice move, because if they go for an Ice move, then we're doing okay. So we're gonna switch in Purple Rain, bada bing, bada boom. Let's see what they want to do here. We are going to see that they do Terra. Blissey cannot Terra. Massive, 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 massive. I am okay with this. So we're going to see the Terra here. Probably going for Terra Blast if I had to guess. I'm very happy with this exchange. This is a great exchange for me. This is fantastic. Okay, so we're going to see a Terra Blast. Yep, that makes sense. Beautiful. Okay. Rotom Frost being the Terra captain here is amazing. Okay, so I can wish. I'm gonna wish here. Wish here makes a lot of sense. They could switch into a T-Bolt or they could be going for Volt Switch or Thunderbolt here. I have regen, so I'm okay with this. Alex actually really wanted to get a Alomomola, so I'm very glad that he didn't, because I really wanted a Alomomola as well. Specifically for this purpose, wish passing and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, Terra Blast did not do that much damage, which is great. Let's see, Terra Blast, Terra Ice. So we are mad chillin' now, which is pretty epic. Yeah, that didn't do that much damage to me. We are going to see a hard swap, actually, which is very interesting. Are we going to see Blissey come in? We're going to see Daipi. What is Daipi? Daipi is Polt. Interesting. Okay. So we're going to see Polt come in. Let's see, Dragapult. Okay, so I go for a Wish. Let's do that. Alluring Voice does a decent chunk of damage. Dragon Darts doesn't do anything to me. If you go for, like, a Thunderbolt... Let's see here. Thunderbolt. Does 34 to 41%, and then I get that immediately back up with Wish. I'm going to punish a setup move. I'm going to go for Alluring Voice. I think this makes the most sense. We're going to see a Shadow Ball, so we'll get some information on whether your specs your Scarf or not. That sucks. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I'm gonna fire up an Alluring Voice here. Does a decent chunk of damage. Okay, so it took me down from like 221 to 106. So 221. Okay, so I had about 19% to 106. 39%. So 81 to 39%. So let's see. Shadow Ball does 23 to 27%. So I think you're okay. You're definitely like modest for sure. I feel. I think your specs. I think that's choice specs damage. With that being choice specs damage, I can freely go into my Terapagos. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into Terapagos here. We're going to see a double, or we're going to see a swap here. I'm okay with that. We're going to see the Scheming Face. Okay, that's Blissey. So they predicted the Terapagos switch. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay. So, Blissey, perfect answer for this is Sandaconda. Sandaconda comes in on this every single time, which is great. So I'm very okay with this. So we're gonna fire off the Terapagos. We're gonna reveal that. I'm going to go into Nicki Minaj here for free because I can and I want to. Yeah, Nicki Minaj looks really, really solid here. Keldeo is by far and away the scariest Pokemon on this team that we're going to be facing off against. So I'm a bit scared of that. We're going to see a Seismic Toss, which will do a fixed amount of damage, but you take damage from Rocky Helmet, which is pretty awesome. Now the question becomes, what do I want to do here? Do I want to rest? And I think I do. I could also Glare. Actually, Glare is a free button click now that I think about it. Glare is a free button click. Do I think Rotom Frost is coming in? Let's see, Sandaconda, because Sandaconda is deceptively fast. Let's see, Rotom Frost. If you're paralyzed because you're Terra'd, I don't outspeed a timid set, unfortunately, but, I'm going to rest. I think rest here makes the most sense. So we're going to rest, bada bing, bada boom. Get some recovery. We have Shed Skin as well, so hopefully we get the Shed Skin proc relatively quickly. That'd be pretty awesome. We're gonna see an Ice Beam. Ooh, the tech. I like the tech. That is a decent chunk of damage. Okay, I respect it. Okay, so we've seen Seismic Toss, we've seen Ice Beam. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So Blissey, Body Press is going to do, if you're like a defensive set, 57, it does over half. The question is, how do I want to... Can I actually switch in Purple Rain on this? I think I can. I'm gonna switch in Purple Rain on this. Yeah, because, let's see, Ice Beam, it did a decent chunk of damage. Wow, okay, that's kind of low-key crazy damage from Blissey. Huh, good to know. Okay, so, we're gonna see that, that's fine, does literally nothing. Alright, now, the thing is, Blissey can't really win this game, I don't think, or at least is gonna really heavily struggle with winning this game. So, I'm okay with this. I could Wish here. I don't know what wants to switch in. I've revealed Alluring Voice now. I might just go for a... Well, I could go for a Calm Mind, actually. What wants to switch in on a Calm Mind? I'll Wish. I'll Wish here. I'll Wish here. We're gonna see that they stay in, actually. Very interesting. Thunder? Holy crap! Don't... Alex, no! No! No, 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 no! Nuh-uh. No, 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 no. That ain't happening. No, 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 no. Thank you. Calm Mind. Okay, hold on a second. Alomomola versus a Thunder Blissey. Thunder, by the way. Alex, mad respect to that. I'm gonna Calm Mind here. I'm scared. I am scared of this. Alright, we Calm Mind. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. Jeez. My guy, you are terrifying me now. Alright, they land the Thunder this time. Holy crap, that does nothing. Okay, we're good. We do get paralyzed though. Woo! Love the para. Love the para hacks. Okay, so unfortunate, but you know what? We'll take it. Alright. Purple Rain's Wish came true, we're at +1. The Scald and Alluring Voice does minuscule damage, which is hysterical to me. I think I'm gonna Scald. Alright, we're gonna see a Seismic Toss here. Boom. Does literally nothing, and you're taking Rocky Helmet Chip as well. We're gonna fire off a Skull, bada bing, bada boom. We revealed the full moveset now at this point, and Burn would be pretty awesome here. No Burn, unfortunate. But you are taking Rocky Helmet Chip, which is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that. I'm just gonna fire off another Wish. You can't... Okay, so the nice thing about this is Alomomola can't... Blissey cannot win as long as Alomomola is alive, which is pretty awesome. We're gonna see a miss with Thunder. Very unfortunate, there. Let's see here. Can Alomomola low-key win if I set up enough? What happens if I get to +6 versus this thing? Skull does 16 damage. Not really, unfortunately. So I guess I could switch in Nicki Minaj. We've seen Thunder, we've seen Ice Beam. What do I think they're going to do here? That we've seen... Okay. How do I want to do this? I could go into Skuntank here. You know what? This time I will switch it to Skuntank. I will switch it to Skuntank here. We could see a Seismic Toss. That would make sense. I think you have the Soft Boiled as your last move. We're going to see a Thunder that lands. Does Diddly Squat to me, though. And we are going to get the Wish Recovery off. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click Knock into whatever wants... Well, okay. Treads could come in here. Treads comes in for free, which I'm not a big fan of. And Treads is fairly annoying to deal with. So I think what I'm going to do here, do I Super Fang? I think I Super Fang and I'm going to probably switch into Liquid Burns. I'm going to Super Fang on the switch. I think Iron Treads here makes the most sense. You've already used your booster energy. We've seen how little knockoff did against it. So being able to fire off a Super Fang is going to be really, really solid into that mon. So, and I don't want Sandaconda dead yet. Sandaconda can at least do a lot of damage to Blissey as long as I get a Shed Skin proc. So that's kind of what I'm going to have to rely on. And also, if we can fire off a Glare after a Wake Up, that would be really nice. We are going to see the swap here. Let me see the Treads. The Spinny Boy, yep, that's going to be Treads. Bada bing, bada boom. So this will do a decent chunk of damage. Bada bing, swap-ow! Okay, So last time I went for EQ, it did a decent chunk of damage into me, so I think this time I'm going to go into Liquid Burns. Yeah, I'm going to go into Liquid Burns this time. I think that's a pretty free swap. If they go for Ice Spinner, well on them, but that's not going to do that much damage to me. Once Treads drops, I do kind of like Terra, Poison, Sinistcha in this game. I also really like it against Keldeo. So I do need to keep that in mind. Keldeo would be really nice to get this, like, set up on. But yeah, the nice thing about this, things are getting weakened down. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm feeling pretty good in general, I won't lie. Keldeo is the Pokemon that scares me the most. I'm really scared about Keldeo. If I can get Treads off the field, Regieleki kind of goes nuts, which I do really like. So I want to keep that in mind as well. Because Choice Specs Aleki. Dragon Ball I think has to be Specs. I don't think it's, we're gonna see Rocks, that's fine. We have Terapagos with heavy duty boots that can punish that. So I'm okay with that. I'm going to go ahead and go for Matcha Gotcha. That's just a free button click I can go for here. Yeah, obviously we're going to see the swap. Probably going to see Blissey come back in if I had to guess. Yep, that's going to be Blissey. Okay, so Blissey's going to be the tank to defeat here. It probably has Natural Cure if I had to guess. We're going to go for Matcha Gotcha here. I knew Blissey was going to be a problem because a lot of my threats are special attackers. If we could get a burn here, that'd be pretty awesome. No burn, unfortunate. Okay. So, what do I want to do here is the question. I can go into a Alomomola. You're going for an Ice Beam, I feel. You have to be going for Ice Beam. I'm going to go into Guzma here. It's a very obvious play, but I'm going to click it. Just because I can. And then I think what I'm going to do, I go for another Super Fang. I guess Rotom Frost could come in too, but I don't think it will. We're going to see the Pointed Stones. They missed their Thunder again, which I am more than happy with. Okay. Do I go for a Knock? Because it still did a decent chunk into Treads, and it might be a 2-shot. I'm going to Super Fang. I'm going to Super Fang here. Yeah, we're going to see the swap. Let's see what comes in here. Is it going to be Spinny Boy? Is it going to be... No, it's Eepee. Okay, so it's Pulse. Dragapult comes in. Okay, so Dragapult's coming in here. How well... Imagine if I just went for Knock. This thing would have dropped. Dragapult. Okay, Dragapult. I think you're Specs. You're 50. Draco Meteor does 51 to 60%. Knockoff kills from this range. I'm just going to click Knockoff. I could also click Terra Fairy here. I could click Terra Fairy, which they do have to keep in mind. I could click my Terra Fairy Skuntank here. I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. But I could be doing that here. We're going to see a U-turn, actually. Okay. So that was really smart by Alex, actually. That was a really great play. Predicting the Super Fang. But I don't know how much of that's going to really help them in the end. Keldeo comes in. Okay. I'm okay with this. Knock off. We're going to knock off whatever item this thing has. What is this? Oh, you're going to go for Justified, aren't you? Are you an attack nature? Are you an attack mon? AV. Are you phys... Okay, hold on. Keldeo. You're usually... Okay, I feel like... I feel like going for a play rough here is okay. I could also I really want to nuke this. I really just want to nuke this thing off the face of the earth. What do I want to go for here? I could also switch into Liquid Burns. You're not a physical attacking set. No way. I refuse to believe that. I'm going for play rough. We're going to see a flip turn. Okay, so flip turn. That did a decent chunk of damage. Really well played. We're going to reveal that we have play rough now, which I'm okay with, honestly. Let's see what they want to switch in here. It's probably going to be a Spinny Boy, if I had to guess. I think they might have also been expecting me to switch. I think they might have been expecting me to switch. Yeah, we're going to see Spinny Boy, so this is not going to do that much damage. Alex is playing this really well. Yeah, so he's a lot of pivoting. Treads is getting really weakened, though, which I'm a big fan of. I do really like that. I could go into a little Mola here. Earthquake's not going to do too much damage. I could also go into Liquid Burns, which I think I'm going to do here. I really want to get Terapagos in at some point to spin these rocks away, though. I really want to do that as soon as possible. So that's something I'm going to have to keep in mind. Let's see here. Let's see. Sinistcha versus Blissey. Machigata does nothing. Holy crap. Okay. Let's see. If I get to +6, Machigata does 38 to 44%. Okay. EQ. That's fine. We predicted that. hence why we did this. So I think what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to match a gotcha again. Yeah, we're going to see the swap. I guess I could have gone for the strength sap. I think that was the pretty safe play to make. We're going to see the Blissey come back in. That makes sense. I don't want to burn the Yachi Berry yet. Keldeo, I want Keldeo weakened first. So boom. Still no burn, by the way, which is kind of crazy. Well, you get a little bit of HP back though, which is nice. So you have to have, I feel like you have to have soft boiled. I think you have to have soft boiled here. I think last time you went for Thunder on the Guzma switch. I think this time you might go for, you might either go for Seismic Toss or Ice Beam, I feel like this time. I'm gonna get a Lumamola in, because I really want to try to Wish Pass. I really wish I had Flip Turn now, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go with the Purple Rain. Bada bing, bada boom. Purple Rain. Alright, let's see what they want to do here. They're going to go for a Thunder, and they miss, once again. I could have gotten Sandaconda in for free. It's what I'm learning from this. I could have gotten Sandaconda in for free. We're gonna Wish Pass, though. Easiest play of my career. Wish. We're getting a lot of mileage out of this. We're gonna see a Thunder. That's fine. Hopefully we get this Wish off. We do. So, what I'm going to do now, I think I go into Sandaconda and try to get this Sleep Turn going. If I can get the Sleep Turn going, that's massive for the rest of my team, and I'm very okay with that. So that's what I'm going to do. I could also go into Guzma. Guzma is a very free swap here, actually. Do I want to go in... Okay, do I want to go into Nicki Minaj, or do I want to go into Guzma? That's kind of the question here. I think Guzma is going to have a lot more value overall, so I'm going to go into Guzma here. There's no way that Blissey will be able to KO me, so I'm okay with this play. This is a very stressful game. Alex is playing this really, really solidly. Okay, we go into Guzma here. We're going to take some Pointed Stones damage, which is great. We're going to see a Thunder. It lands. Does not KO. We get that off, which is awesome. We're back up at full. Alomomola is carrying this team right now. A knockoff will kill Pulse. That was the last Pokemon that switched in. It does a decent chunk of damage into Treads. It knocks off the leftovers off of this. I'm going to go for knockoff here. I think knockoff is the safest play. At this point, Treads, I'm weakening down Treads enough to the point where it's going to have a really hard time beating the rest of my team. And once that goes out, Regieleki really comes online and just wrecks shop. So that's kind of my goal with this, is once that's gone, Skuntank really pops off. A lot of Pokemon really just go nuts here. We're going to see the Spinny Boy. That's going to be the Treads. I really wish I had Flamethrower. That would have been awesome here. We're going to fire up a Knock. Boom. Does a lot of damage. So next time, I can just go for Knockoff for literally free. So, I really want... Okay, how valuable is Nicki Minaj at this point? I think I have to go into Nicki Minaj here now. It's really good into Blissey. That's what it is. It's really good into Blissey. And I don't have a lot of Pokemon for Blissey. It's basically Skuntank and that's it, if Nicki Minaj goes down. I can't afford to let that happen. I think I have to go into Sinistcha here, as unfortunate as that is. So we're going to go into Sinistcha. Very obvious play is obvious. Let's see what they want to do here. We're going to see an EQ. That makes sense. We're getting our HP lowered, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think this time I'm going to Strength Sap. Hopefully we get a little bit more HP recovery from Blissey. I don't know if we will, but we can try. We can most certainly try. Machagacha is not going to do anything, so there's no point in going for that. There is no point in going for that. We're going to see the swap. Hopefully the Strength Sap gives us a bit more HP. I doubt it. Oh, we're going to Pulse. Interesting. So we're actually going to fully recover our HP now then, which is pretty massive. We're going to go for Strength Sap here. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. That's actually really great. So, yeah, we're gonna get our HP back. Boom. Perfect. I could Terra Poison here. How good does Terra Poison look on Sinistcha here? It's no longer a switch into Treads. I don't think I can Terra Poison here until Treads is gone. I can't do a lot of things until Treads is gone, is kind of what I'm figuring out here. I'm gonna go into my Terapagos. I'm gonna go into Terapagos and I'm gonna click Spin. I want these rocks gone. I want these rocks gone. And this is literally the switch to Pulse, so... We're going to see a U-turn, that's fine. It's going to do literally nothing. And I'm going to go head. Yeah, Blissy's going to come in here. That's fine. I'm okay with that. The main purpose of this set is to kind of wall everything. We're going to see Keldeo come in, actually. Okay, so Keldeo was Assault Vest, so we know it's not anymore. Versus Keldeo. I could very easily go into Sinistcha here, so I don't know if they want to go for a fighting move or not. They might just go for a flip turn. Terra Starstorm does half. We're at like 99. Aura Sphere does 63 to 75%. I am above that range. If I go for a spin, do I outspeed this? I do. I do 100% of the time outspeed this. So the question is, do I want to do that or do I want to switch? I don't know if they go for a... I think... What set up the rocks? It was Treads? I'm going to Rapid Spin here. Yeah, we're going to see a flip turn. Yeah, that makes sense. We could see Polk come back in. Polk coming back in here would be unfortunate. And I would not appreciate that. Blissey comes back in. Perfect. So we're going to... This is ideal. This is the most ideal play. Rapid Spin. Get these hazards off the field. We're at +1. That's great. And hazards are gone. So, awesome sauce. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch into Alomomola yet again. Alomomola is always going to be my switch in for this because it gives me a free Wish Pass. It literally just gives me a free Wish Pass, which is pretty awesome. I'm not going to think twice about it. I'm just going to click this button. Alomomola really carrying the team right now. This is a very long game as well. We're spending a long time with this game. We're going to be here for a hot minute. 25 minutes have already passed, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how I'm going to edit this, but you know what? It's fine. I might just leave it. I don't know how we're going to do this. We're going to see Nice Beam. That's fine. That's best case scenario, honestly. We're going to see lefties. That's fine. Basically, literally the situation right now is Blissey pretty much cannot win the game by itself until a lot of things are gone, like this Pokemon. We're going to see a Thunder. That's fine. It does a lot of damage, but that's fine. We can't move because we're paralyzed. That's unfortunate. But you have to land the Thunder, basically, to kill me. You have to get really unlucky with Alomomola here. And I don't think you're going to do that. I don't know how many Thunders they've already clicked. They've missed their second one. So that's good for me. We're going to fire off a Wish here. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, now. I think my next play here is to go into... No, my next play here is to go into Nicki Minaj. Because I don't want Skuntank to get statused on the Thunder. And they haven't seen me go into this here yet. So I think this is my best play to make. Yeah, this is my best play. We're going to see a swap here. Are we going to see Treads come back in is the question. We're going to see the Spinny Boy come back in. So that is going to be Treads. Treads is coming back in. This is actually best case scenario. Because my Sandaconda wants to be in on Treads. We're going to see Nicki Minaj. Now, the last time I revealed Body Press... Yeah, the last time I revealed Body Press, so I'm curious to see Shedskin. We woke up. Beautiful. Now, do I go for EQ or do I go for Body Press? I think I have to go for EQ. I'm going to go for EQ here. I want this thing gone. I'm worried Dragon Bolt's going to switch in here. And if Dragon Bolt switches in, I can't take a Draco Meteor that well. So, I think this is my play. I'm just going to click that button, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see this swap. Do we see Bolt coming in predicting the Body Press this time, though? We are going to see the Bolt predicting the Body Press. This is best case scenario. Okay. Bolt comes in. We go for an EQ. Does a lot of damage. I guess I could have also clicked Glare, but it is what it is. Everything is so weakened down. It's crazy. I could go into Skuntank here. I don't... They have no reason to not click Draco at this point, right? They have no reason to not click Draco. How well can Sandaconda take a Draco, actually? Can Sandaconda take a Draco from a Choice Specs Dragapult? Dragapult, Choice Specs. No, it cannot. It cannot take that. Can Terapagos take that if I am not this? Not really. So actually, Skuntank might be my best switch. So I'm going to go into Skuntank now. We could see a Draco Meteor here, and that's going to suck if we do. We swap. What are we going to see come in? What were you going to see being clicked here? Go into Skuntank. We are going to see a Surf. Okay, so neutral play. Does do quite a bit of damage, but that's fine. Your choice spec's locked. So we've seen Surf, we've seen Shadow Ball, we've seen U-Turn. Okay, now the question is, do I think you switch into Keldeo, or do I think you switch into something else? I'm gonna go for knockoff. I'm just gonna go for knockoff here. If Keldeo comes in, we can click Play Rough. We're gonna see the swap. Please send in the Spinny Boy. We're gonna see the Moth. That's fine by me. Knocking off whatever item this has is great. We could also see Booster Energy. We do see Booster Energy. So that's fine. Is this special attack? It's speed as well. So this is also speed. Interesting. We're gonna borrow knockoff. Does a decent chunk of damage. Okay, so we've seen speed. Very interesting. Skuntank doesn't enjoy being in on this. I'm gonna go for Super Fang though. We're gonna see a flamethrower, raw flamethrower, that makes sense. Boom, decent chunk of damage. We go for Super Fang, Bladushkis. Beautiful. Okay, so we've seen flamethrower. Interesting that they're not Fiery Dance. Okay. I guess I could go Purple Rain, maybe, on this. Let's see here. Iron Moth. You probably have Discharge for this, though. I have to imagine you have Discharge for this. I don't want this Pokemon getting burned. I think I'm actually going to go into Terapagos here. This thing being weakened down, though, is really, really great. Basically, if something gets sacked, Regieleki looks phenomenal. So, we're going to see another flamethrower, that's fine. The crit sucks. The crit's really bad. Not a fan of that. I Terra Starstorm here, I think. I think I have to Terra Starstorm. Pulk could come in here. I think I let Terapagos die if Pulk comes in, unfortunately, as much as I don't want to. We're going to see a Sludge Wave. Does that kill? It does. Okay. Now, the question is, do you outspeed Regieleki at +1? You shouldn't. You do. Okay. Okay, yes, you do. You do outspeed at +1. How do you outspeed at +1? What? Oh, Quark Drive. You still outspeed me. Okay. Unfortunate. But, I think... Can Sandaconda come in on this? I think Sandaconda can come in on this, right? Fiery Dance. You don't have Fiery Dance for some reason. Let's see. Energy Ball. To 74 to 88%, I can guarantee live that as long as I don't get crit. I could also go into Sinistcha and Shadow Ball, which I think will be my play. We're going to go for Liquid Burns. I could also Terrastallize Poison, but I don't want to do that as long as Blissey is alive. I'm going to Shadow Ball here. I want this threat off the field. Shadow Ball is a great play into everything that isn't Blissey, but Blissey is a very easily punishable play because I can just go for a different move. We're going to see a Flamethrower here, that's fine. We take that very well because we're heat-proof. Shadow Ball, bada bing, bada boom. Hopefully this dies. It doesn't. It barely lives. But the Spadef drops. Yay, the Spadef drop. Awesome. Do I go for a Matcha Gotcha to recover a little bit? No, I go for Shadow Ball. I just go for Shadow Ball here. Blissey comes in, that's fine. I don't care. They might try to save this, they don't. Okay, so Iron Moth is going to go down. We exchange Iron Moth for Terapagos. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not the biggest fan of that, unfortunately. But it is what it is. They're keeping Iron Shreds alive specifically for the Alecki. Regieleki versus Blissey, I think might be what this comes down to. We're going to see the EP come back in. Okay. I think we're going to see a free Shadow Ball here. I think that's what's going to happen. Do I let Sinistcha go down, though, is the question. I might have to, unfortunately. I could also go into Purple Rain. No, I can't go into Purple Rain on a possible Draco. No, you have to be going for Shadow Ball. Right? Surely you have to be going for Shadow Ball. I think I have to let Sinistcha go down, though, unfortunately. I'm not a big fan of this. I could also Strength Sap, actually. I'm going to Strength Sap on the off chance. Okay, we see a Draco. Okay, that's fine. Sinistcha goes down. However, I can just freely go into Regieleki. Let me make sure I know how this works. If I Terra Stellar against Dragapult... Terra Stellar against Dragapult. Terra Blast does do damage, which is great. Okay, so now it just comes down to like Blissey. Actually, no. Guzma's a free switch here. I go into Guzma. Every single time I go into Guzma. I could play rough here, actually, on the Keldeo. Predicting a knock. Because knock, they can't switch in treads. I think I have to go for play rough. I'm going to go for play rough. This is obviously a risk if I miss. If they stay in and I miss, especially. This thing's at -2. I think they're going to really want to save Dragapult. And I don't think they're going to want to let treads go down. At least here. So I think that you're going to switch in Keldeo. I think that's their best play to make. I just also realized I lost my spinner. So this is not a great situation for me, unfortunately. We're going to see the swap. Please send in Keldeo. That would make my day. We're going to see Keldeo. Perfect. Keldeo's going to take a lot of damage from this. Play rough. Boom. Decent chunk of damage. I will gladly take that. And we're going to see the attack drop. Okay. So... I think I want to Terra Fairy. We could also see a flip turn. I could also switch into a Lomomola. I'm going to switch into a Lomomola on a flip turn. I'm going to punish a flip turn play. Yeah, this is very interesting. This is a very interesting game, I must say. Alex has been playing this really, really well. I can't afford to lose Skuntank, at least until I get Blissey on the field, basically. I need Blissey to be the last Pokemon on the field. Then I can possibly do stuff with Regieleki. It's going to be tough, for sure. Obviously. It'll be very tough. I was hoping Blissey would be the Terra Cat, because if I could punish that with Terra Stellar, but it is what it is. Okay, we're going to go with the Purple Rain here. I want to see a flip turn. That would be ideal. I want to see a flip turn. We're going to see a Surf. That's fine. I still take this pretty well. Okay. Yeah, but I still take this well. I could go for an Alluring Voice. You're not a setup set, so I'm going to go for a Wish. How do I want to hit? I guess I could also have clicked Alluring Voice, because that would have punished a Pult switch. We're going to see an Aura Sphere, actually. Interesting. Wish. Okay, so. You have... I think you have some investment in your bulk. Maybe not. Maybe not. Surf does 28 to 33%. I'm at 79. So if I'm at 79, that puts me at 44%. Keldeo should never be able to kill me. I'm going to go into Guzma. Purple Rain, come back. Bada bing, bada boom. And then, now, I think I'm going to Terra Fairy. I'm going to Terra Fairy to prevent Draco Meteor from popping off too much. We're going to see the Aura Sphere. Boom. Perfect. We live to tell the tale. And now, I'm going to click the... I could click Terra Fairy Poison Jab. I could do that. No, I think I still click Play Rough here, actually. I think I still click... Okay, wait, hold on. What's my best play here? Can Poison Jab KO from this range? No, I don't think so. I'm going to Play Rough here. I'm going to Play Rough. This actually might do enough damage to Iron Treads if I Terra Fairy here, now that I think about it. Let's see. Iron Treads. Probably... Well, maybe not. No, probably not. I take that back. But it's still... I have a free switch into Sandaconda with Treads. So Treads is an easily punishable play. So let's see what they want to do here. They're definitely thinking about what they want to do here. They stay in, so hopefully Keldeo drops. That would be awesome. I would greatly appreciate that. They could also be going for Flip Turn now that I think about it as well. They could be clicking Flip Turn here. We Terra Fairy, bada bing, bada boom. And we could see... I'm curious to see what we do here. We're going to see a Surf, actually. So Keldeo is just going for damage. We take that really well. We go for a Play Rough. And we land it, which is great. Keldeo drops. Keldeo is gone. Wonderful. Okay. AD Skuntank really putting in work. Skuntank looks really good into the rest of my opponent's team. the Spinny Boy. Treads comes in, obviously. So, what I'm going to do here, every single time I go into my Sandaconda, 100% of the time I go Sandaconda. The nice thing is, from here, I can go for either a Body Press or a Glare. What's more punishable? Rotom or... I'm curious. What do I want to do here? How do I want to play this? We're going to go into Nicki Minaj. Boom. Alright. Iron Head. Boom. You're going to take Rocky on the chip. Perfect. You just die to that. Wonderful. So the Spinny Boy goes down. Treads is gone. The end game of my Pokemon are looking really good. The Fridge comes in. So the Fridge is going to come in. Okay. So you have to think I swap here, I feel. I feel like you have to think I swap. Well, can Regieleki take a hit from this? Rotom Frost. Oh, Regieleki can absolutely take a hit. Regieleki can absolutely take a hit from this. I'm switching into Regieleki. Regieleki's a free swap now, and I can just go for... I can click Volt Switch and KO something. That's what happens here. I go for a Volt Switch and I KO something. Drag up, halt. Alright. Rotom Frost, we're gonna see them in Currents. Beautiful. Alright. They go for Terra Blast. That makes sense. Okay, so Terra Blast is gonna pop off. Boom. That's fine. Oh, wow, that's a lot of damage. But thankfully, I can just go for a Volt Switch. Oh, I actually have Hazard Removal still on my boy. So, okay, that's good to know. But yeah, Volt Switch is going to KO anything that's not Blissey. And Blissey, I punish by going back into Nicki Minaj and clicking... Or no, I go back into Skuntank and I click Knock. Because something dies to a Knock after that, basically. This is a very great situation for me. Either a Lecky picks up a KO, or I get a free switch into Skuntank and I click Knock Off on something. One of the two, this is the very amazing position for me to be in. Yeah, Alex has played this really, really well. I'm very impressed. So massive shoutouts to my opponent for how well they're playing right now. Very, very great game. They're definitely thinking about what they want to do here. Dragon Ball should die, in theory, to this hit. At least in theory. Because I am Terra Stellar, and it's going to just... Or not Terra Stellar, but it's going to do a lot of damage. Okay, so we see the swap. Do we see Blissey come in? We are going to see... Yes, Blissey comes in. Okay. I go into Skuntank and I click Knock on something, is what happens here next. I go into Skuntank and I click Knock. Either Blissey loses its item or... Yeah. And that's still a lot of damage, too. So I'm very okay with this. This is a great situation. I go into Skuntank here, and basically I go for Knock. I have to go for Knock here. Yeah, I absolutely every single time go for Knock. Blissey could stay in here, but if it does, it doesn't enjoy 1v1ing me very well. And it's not really gonna hate losing its leftovers. So I'm gonna go for Knock. I'm going to go for a knockoff. Bada bing, bada boom. I really don't think that you want to lose your item on Blissey. I really don't think you want to lose your item on Blissey here. You could go for Seismic, but if you do, then you're looking pretty rough. We are going to see that Blissey opts to lose their item. That makes sense. We're gonna knock off the lefties. We're gonna see Ice Beam. Okay, that's fine. Ice Beam, boom, does a decent chunk of damage. Okay. So now that I've actually Terra'd, Fairy, Play Rough does about the same amount as Knockoff does. I could go into a Luminola here on a Soft Boiled. Because I think your final move has to be Soft Boiled. I could also go into Nicki Minaj. I think I'm going to go into Purple Rain. I'm going to go into Purple Rain here. Because if he goes for Seismic Toss, you lose HP, you've permanently lost your leftover, so your only form of recovery is going to be Soft Boiled. I cannot afford to lose Skuntank here. Yeah, this is my best play. We're going to see a Soft Boiled. Okay. So Soft Boiled pops off. Okay. I could go for a Wish. I think that's what I'm going to do. I have to go for a Wish here. I have to go for Wish. Okay. We now know the full moveset. It's Seismic Toss, and then those moves. So we're going to see the swap. Is it going to be Pulp that comes in? It's going to be Fridge. Okay, so it's going to be Rotom. Rotom's coming in here. We can't move because we're paralyzed. That's okay. That's fine. I'm okay with this. I let Regieleki go. I'm pretty sure, right? I let Regieleki go. I mean, I can also tank a hit. Can a Scald kill you from this range? Rotom Frost. No, it cannot. So, unfortunately, it can't kill. I do really need this Pokemon for later in the game. So I'm gonna let Regieleki go down. Yeah, the Paraturn is unfortunate. That Paraturn was pretty huge. We're gonna see a Terra Blast. They could be choice locked. I'm not too sure. Okay. Yeah, this is a tough game. This is a tough end game. A knockoff will 100% KO. I have to go for this play. They have to choice lock themselves into whatchamacallit. I go for knock. I have to go for knock here. I have to go for knock. And pray that they either let this go down or they switch into... Well, they're not going to switch into pull. I have to pray that they let this go down. Alex is playing this really, really well. Yeah, we're going to see the swap. Do we see Blissey come in? Yeah, we do see Blissey come in. Okay. Blissey comes in. What can win me the game here? I go back into a Alomomola. They could double. If they double here, this is really, really well played. And I don't think I lose. I don't think I lose to that. Because a Spec Shadow Ball shouldn't kill a Alomomola. Let's see, Drag Up, Halt, Choice Specs, Shadow Ball. Yeah, no, Shadow Ball won't kill. This is 35 to 42%, so we actually take that really well. And Alluring Voice will most likely KO from the range it's at. And if they go for U-turn, it 100% will. So we're gonna switch it to Alomomola. Soft Boiled, I'm okay with that. That's fine. I don't care. So, what I do here, I wish every single time. This is a tough game. This is a very tough game. Very tough end game. Okay. Very curious to see what they do here. We're gonna see the swap, obviously. I think they have to go into Rotom. Yep. Okay, Rotom comes in. Okay. Wish. We fire it off. Great. I go into Skuntank here every single time. To get Skuntank's HP back up. This time, I might Super Fang. I don't know if I Super Fang, actually. Do I Super Fang on the Blissey switch? I could also click Play... No, I don't click Play Rough. I think that's stupid if I click Play Rough. They could also be click... No, I don't think Rotom's going to click Volt Switch here on the off chance that Sandaconda switches in. So, I think that's fine. This is a really tough game. Holy crap. This is insane. This is a very intense game. Mad respect to Alex once again. He's playing this expertly well. Okay. I might put on Glitch X City music in the background for this. If you're listening to Glitch X City music, hi. It's because I was too lazy to add music myself. Okay. We get the switch off. Perfect. Let's see what they go for here. They could go for Volt. They could do a few things here. Thunderbolt. They go for Thunderbolt. Okay. That did a lot of damage, actually. Holy crap. Okay. Here's the thing, though. You have to switch. You have to switch at this point, right? You lose... Okay. The situation is, they lose the game... They lose the game if they let one of these two Pokemon go down, because Sandaconda can win me the rest of the game, because I can just spam an attack. So... They have to go Blissey. I'm going to click knockoff here. This is my safe play. I need to hope that Alex throws, basically, which he could do. He's not going to, though. He's playing this very well. I really wish I clicked Super Fang now. That would have been nice here. We're going to fire up the knockoff, though. I think this time I will stay in and click Super Fang. Yeah, I'll stay in this time and I'll click Super Fang. We're going to fire off a Super Fang, bada bing, bada boom. Does a lot of damage, which is great. We're going to see an Ice Beam. That's fine. Okay, a critical hit, that's fine. I go for Play Rough this time. I go for Play Rough to punish the Soft Boiled. Alright, Play Rough, this is going to do a lot of damage. Bada bing, bada boom. Doesn't kill, unfortunately, but we are going to see the Soft Boiled. So now, I could go for another Super Fang. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to force you to just burn your soft-boileds, basically. I'm going to force you to burn your soft-boileds, or I'm going to force you in a... Yeah, I'm basically going to force you in a situation where you're forced to just heal or hope that I miss. Super Fang. Alright. This is an okay situation. We're doing okay. Because ultimately, soft-boiled... We're seeing Ice Beam, actually. Okay. That's fine. Okay. I could play rough here again. I could click Poison Jab as well. I'm gonna go for play rough this time. I'm gonna go for play rough again. We miss. Unfortunate. That's an unfortunate miss. I don't think it mattered too heavily, though. We're gonna see a soft boiled. This time, I think I will switch into a Alomomola. And... yeah, this time I'll switch into a Alomomola. And I might go for an Alluring Voice this time. On the Alomomola switch. Or on the Rotom switch, I guess I should say. Or maybe I go for Scald. Both of which are okay here. Both of which I'm okay with. They just go for Ice Beam. Okay, that's fine. So, now the situation becomes, what do I want to go for here? I could actually... I could Calm Mind. Alomomola +1 Calm Mind versus Dragapult. Draco Meteor is 38 to 46%. Alluring Voice guaranteed KOs. What about Rotom Frost? Thunderbolt is 37 to 44%. Scald will kill. I'm going for Calm Mind. We just see a Thunder. That's fine. That is fine. We Calm Mind. Beautiful. Alright, we're at +1. We're at +1. They could swap. They could definitely swap. I could go for a second one. I'm gonna wish. I'll wish here. We're gonna see a Thunder. They miss. Again, I'm okay with that. We go for a wish. Perfect. I go for a second Calm Mind. I go for a second Calm Mind here. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, they're basically forced to stay in here. I go for another Calm Mind. Okay. So, this is a very interesting situation. I think this is just going to come down to whether or not I can just destroy Blissey here. Soft-boiled, how many power points does soft-boiled have? I don't know. We're at this amount. I could also get lucky with a burn. I think I can Alluring Voice here for free now, right? Rotom Frost. Can I Alluring Voice here? It's still a roll. I'll Calm Mind one more time. Yeah, we're gonna see a Seismic Toss. That makes sense. Okay. And the nice thing as well is you're lowering your HP with Rocky Helmet Chip willingly. We can't move because we're paralyzed. That's fine. I'm going to click Wish this time. Because I think you're going to lock yourself into that. We're going to see a Thunder. Okay, that's fine. That is fine by me. You're also hoping for a crit, which makes sense. I think I'm going to try to... Do I try to burn you, actually? I think I might try to burn you. We're at +2. I'm going to Scald. I'm going to try to fish for a burn. Because if I can fish for a burn, that's going to put you on a timer. That will put you on a timer, and I'm okay with that. So we're going to see what they want to do here. We're going to see a Seismic Toss. That makes sense. Boom. Does a little bit more chip damage. Alright. Let's see what we go for here. We go for Scald. Bada bing, bada boom. Does a decent amount of damage with a crit as well. Unfortunately, we don't get that, but that's fine. I'm going to Calm Mind again, I think. Yes, I'm going to Calm Mind again. We're going to see a Soft Boil. That's fine. Let me look up and see how much PP Soft Boiled has. Alright, let's see. Soft Boiled. It has a maximum of 8. So they can't keep clicking it forever. I'm gonna click Scald again. I'm gonna try to fish for a burn. Seismic Toss, boom, that's fine. Does a little bit more damage. Beautiful. Scald, bada bing, bada boom. I want that burn. Give me that burn. I will Wish here again. I think that's safe. We'll see another Seismic Toss. This is a very interesting game, I must say. This is a very interesting game. Alright, we successfully fire off the Wish. That's great. This time I will Calm Mind. I think they're going to try to recover. That makes sense. No, we're just going to go for damage. Okay, that's fine. You're just taking more damage from Rocky Helmet Chip. We couldn't move because we were paralyzed. That's fine, I don't care. I'm clicking Scald next turn. If you go for Seismic Toss, you are, putting yourself in range to die. I don't think you're gonna do that. Yeah, you click soft boiled here. So I click Scald. Hopefully we get a burn. That'd be nice here. A burn would be massive. We're gonna fire off a Scald. Boom. All right, let's see what happens here. Do we get a burn? No burn. Unfortunate. Calm Mind. Okay, Seismic Toss again. That's fine. All right. Hurt by the Rocky Helmet. That's fine. We're gonna fire off another Calm Mind. The nice thing is, as long as these two Pokemon are alive, as long as Alomomola KOs one, I feel like as long as Alomomola kills one of these Pokemon, we're in a good situation. So I'm gonna wish. They're running low on soft boils and they keep doing more damage to themselves. This is great. This is great. We're gonna see the swap actually on a wish. Okay. What comes in here? The Eepee. Alright, it's gonna be Pulse. Pulse coming in here. So we fire off a wish. I can take whatever this thing wants to throw at me. I'm going for an Alluring Voice. I'm going for an Alluring Voice here because I can either this dies or something else dies, and then we're mad chilling. So, yeah. This is an okay situation, basically is what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, this is a very tough game. This is such a tough game. It really is. Ooh, boy. Alright. Let's see what they want to go for here. Very curious to see. They go for Draco. They land it. Alright. Here we go. Come on, Aloe. Aloe, you are phenomenal. Dragon Ball dies to Alomomola, and I think that's going to be game. I think that's going to be game because Alomomola, like, Rotom Frost can't beat this thing. They might be out of soft boileds now by this point. Alex might be out of soft boileds. So, alright. Such a tough game. Alright, we're going to see the Fridge come in. That's fine. I go for Scald here every single time. And call it a day. That's what's going to happen here. Alright. I might get paralyzed once or twice. If we get crit, and even if we get crit, it's not the end of the world. We're going to see a Thunderbolt. That's fine. Boost. That's fine. Alright. We get the Scald off. Rotom goes down. It's just Blissey left. We guarantee win the game because I can win with Sandaconda. Whew, boy! Good job, Alomomola. Picking up at least 2 kills. Maybe 3, depending on the situation with Blissey. Oh boy, I think Alex might be out of soft boileds. I think that might be the situation now. I'm gonna click Scald here, just because I can and I want to. And we're gonna see what they want to do here. We're gonna see what they want to do. Alright, we're gonna see a Thunder. They land their Thunder. Really well played by Alex as well. Really, really well played. We can't move because we were paralyzed. Thank God that didn't happen in an earlier turn. I'm going to click Wish again. Alomomola is an unbelievable tank. Whew! Alright, Seismic Toss. Yeah, I think he might be out of soft boileds. Double para, unfortunate. Double para is unfortunate here. I'll go for another wish. Seismic Toss again. That's fine. Yeah, I think you're out. I think you're just out. Another para. All right, you know what? I'm glad that the paras are getting out of the way here. I'm glad that that's happening. Scald. If you have one more soft boiled, well on you. If you have one more soft boiled, well on you. Alex is probably so upset. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But hey, you paralyzed me, my guy. You paralyzed me. I do not care. Alright. Perfect. Alright, Alomomola, come on, pick up this kill. Aw, man. Okay. Ah, well. Ah, well. I'll go into, I'll go into Nicki Minaj. I think they could go for an Ice Beam here, but I don't think they will. Alright, Nicki Minaj, let's go. I think you might click Seismic Toss one more time. Oh, we just see a Thunder. Okay, well, yeah, they must be out of soft boileds then. GG's to my opponent. Really, really well played. I'm just going to go click EQ and finish this game off. We're starting off with a 3-0 victory. Really well played by my opponent. This was such a tough game. This is probably one of the most, like, tough games I've experienced in a while in terms of, like, longevity. This was, I think we nearly went the full hour, actually. I think we nearly went the full hour time limit, because I started, like, it's 58 minutes. So we went for a long time. But again, GG's to my opponent. Really, really well played, and really, really great sets. I love the Thunder play. That was awesome. That was awesome. I mad respect to that. Oh boy. But yeah, really well played. GG's. Please be sure to check out their channel down in the description below. I don't know if they'll be uploading, but if they do, be sure to check out their video. It'll be linked down below as well. Really well played to my opponent. Starting off the season strong with 3-0 victory. We love to see it. We got a lot of really tough opponents coming your way. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. And that'll do it. I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace out,